God.
I got my little notes here. I'm gonna start it off like the MCU. Dun 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 dun. I really don't know the theme like that, but y'all could just imagine there's supposed to be comics and shit here flashing,
And it's
and you
N.E.O.
know,
N.E.O. Back to the made up intros.
yo, N.E.O. episode 24
Oh, Kobe number
coming at you
now.
talking about the Thunderbolts. Blak and Cinco. What's up, y'all? How y'all feeling? We hope y'all feeling good. Peace and love. Cinco, what's up, man?
It actually like 3 hours removed from the movie myself. Just went to see it. I think
Okay,
this shit was
okay, okay.
solid.
Yeah, I'm a few. I went last night at 10. It's currently 7:40. 7:40 on this beautiful Sunday, this rainy Sunday. I went last night at 10 o'clock. It was cool. Peace.
Will I
Went by
say the MCU
myself.
is back? Will I say they're back? No. But will I say they're not on a rough foundation right now? They're not on a rough foundation right now. They got something that can build off of.
They climbed out of, well, you know what? Everybody has their opinion. I would say the majority opinion is saying that MCU was in sort of a rut, and now this has got them out of that rut. If you ask me personally, if you ask me for my non-expert opinion, I like what's been going on. So I wouldn't say they've been in a rut. I just say, it's been okay. It's been all
Yeah, I
right.
just think it's hard for you to match whatever. I'll always say this. Once they did Endgame and Infinity War, this is kind of like their get rich or die trying. And how do you match that, right? So
You can't be like, yeah, what are you doing? What are you doing to match Thanos?
once you get here in highs, and then everything else is kind of like here to here, people are gonna talk junk because this is the high now, bro. This is what they're chasing. So
I mean, Kang was supposed to be, again, this is another person who gets a lot of opinions, because of Jonathan Majors. But me, I was like so hoping on the Kang dynasty. I'm sorry, Kang was supposed to be as big as Thanos, but now we have Doom coming out, so we're gonna see what's up. But right before Doom, we have the Thunderbolts.
I feel like with movies, especially when you have a long running series like this, I think it should be more acceptable that movies are going to be up and down because that's exactly what the road to Endgame was. It was up and
Oh,
down movies, like a lot of good ones, but up and down movies, just building up and showing you all this stuff going on. And we're literally in that phase again where they have to like build up to like their big bad guy. Because I don't think people
right.
expected 5 movies and then a big bad.
But
We
they think too. Kang was supposed to start 2 days ago, like in real time, real life time. It was supposed to start 2 days ago. So we lost our big bad. So they had to fill in and create a new story. And
spin
we
it a
have,
different
and
way.
we don't know what's happening with Kang. They haven't revealed that yet. So hopefully going forward after this, because Thunderbolts is the end of phase 5, 6. Sorry.
Something like that. Is it the end of
Uh,
phase 5?
End of phase 6. I think we're going into phase 7. Honestly.
No, I think we're going into 6.
All right. Well, listen, we're not experts.
Yeah.
We're going into a phase, and we know that. We know that we're going into another phase. We're just gonna say it like that. And we know the Thunderbolts for sure. I know that that's the end of whatever phase we're in. So hopefully going forward we see some good shit.
Well, to get
But
rolling
yeah,
into this,
are you pulling it up?
Thunderbolts. I am looking at what phase 5.
Let's give Cinco a
Yeah,
moment,
phase
y'all. Let's
5.
give
No,
Cinco
it's
a
phase
moment.
5, and we're going into 6
Okay.
pretty soon. But yes,
Going into six.
Thunderbolts, man. So this movie takes place with Yelena having in her own head, basically. Um, just talking about how she feels with all the things going on, losing her sister and stuff. And this whole movie is basically about holding on to your past and trying to fill a void and how that can affect somebody, which I feel like is a lot of what Phase 5 was doing with their superheroes. It's showing like the aftermath of events and how it had their like weighed their toll on the characters they're following in the movie.
The
Realistically,
aftermath of all the events, or are you talking about just the aftermath of
everything
Endgame?
that's been going on leading up to Endgame, also because everybody deals with things like like I said, Yelena dealing with the loss of her sister. That's an Endgame moment. You have Sam who is dealing with the fact he doesn't feel like he's good enough to be Captain America. Who else has movies going on right now or TV shows? Loki having to embrace the fact that he was a bad person, but now he can do something good. Like everybody had these kind of tribulations where they kind of had to like look inside themselves and kind of get over it. Bucky
Yelena's
also went through
also
that.
Yelena's also dealing with the fact that her past beyond Endgame, the Red Room
Hmm.
in this movie, she's battling a lot of that, the Red Room nightmares and stuff shit she had to do.
So, yeah, and one of the things I laughed at in this movie is when I think it's when they're in the void. Bucky says something. He's like, I already dealt with all that, and I laughed because I was like, yeah, he kind of did pack all his like stuff that he was dealing with up in Winter Soldier. So he's like, really ain't got nothing to bother him.
Nigga,
So
like,
he's
I've
kind
been
of
to
like just the
therapy
dude here.
already,
He's just like, yeah, I'm just here actually. Like nothing bothering
nigga.
me.
Like,
uh,
went to therapy already. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. So I enjoyed it from that perspective. That it was like kind of like just like following these guys through their journey of just embracing what's gone wrong in their life and being like it's okay to let it go and it's not bad that it happened because it makes you who you are basically. Um,
Hmm.
you know what's one thing that got me though? 5 minutes into the movie, Taskmaster catches a bullet
Oh
to
my
the
God!
fucking
Why did they do?
head.
She said one line. She said, "I'm not here for you." That's all she said. That shit to Yelena, and that was all she got. That's all she got
As
right there.
soon as John showed up, I was like, "Oh, she set them all up to kill each other in here."
Yeah. That thing was kind of easy to figure, but it was dope how they rolled it out though, because John wasn't even there for Yelena.
No, he was there
No,
for
what?
Yelena.
No.
He
I'm sorry.
was.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, my bad. He
Everybody
was
who
there for
came in,
Yelena.
the next person in was there
Yeah.
for the last person
She just wasn't there for John. She was there for Ghost.
who was there for Taskmaster.
Who Taskmaster was there for John. Let me rewind it to Ghost. I was fucking with her in this movie,
Oh
man.
hell
I
yeah!
like I like I
But
like
you
Ghost.
don't really get to fuck.
Like
You're not allowed to fuck with her in the movie she was in. Remember, she's the villain basically of the second Ant-Man movie. This is their Suicide
yeah,
Squad movie.
yeah.
That's one thing we should point out. This is very much the new Suicide Squad for Marvel to take place of the Guardians of the
Well. According to Dave Fontaine, you know what I'm saying, Miss Dave Fontaine,
Galaxy.
they
Valentina
are
De
the new
Fontaine.
yeah, they are the new Avengers.
Let's talk about how she
They,
finessed that.
that was and you know, right at the end how she just rolled that, and I knew she was gonna do that because in that scene when they saved everybody, when they was saving the buildings and saving the people from the rubble, when she seen their reaction and clapping, yo, when I seen her face, I said this bitch.
I didn't even see that. Like I ain't even, like I must have blinked when
You
that
ain't see her
happened or
face when
something
she
like
did
that.
that, yo.
Yeah, I must have blinked
They
when that
started
part
clapping.
happened.
They started clapping right after they saved everybody, and they looking around, and her face, she was just like she was just like,
She had the whole stage ready, all that. Yo, my jaw dropped when that happened. Yo, I'm like, no way
yo,
she
that
just did
yeah,
this.
that was some smooth criminal shit right there. That
Yo,
was some
saved
smooth
face.
criminal shit.
Saved face. So good, bro. So good. Yo, you know what jaw dropped me also? When Red Guardian
What's that?
saves the little girl and he looks down at her and then
Oh,
does
oh, oh, oh my god. I said, just take me, Lord. Just take me.
like,
Yeah, I was dying. I was in my seat. Now I was like, yo, what the fuck is going on?
yo, my mouth was literally stuck open for like 2 minutes, bro. Like no cap, bro. Like I just couldn't believe
Yeah,
it. I was like, no way.
that was funny. That got a few gasps in the theater I was in. It was like,
Sending motherfuckers to the shadow realm, bro, to deal with their shame. Like, what the fuck?
yo, I'm glad you called it that too. Yes, that's good. I was explaining to somebody today. I was like, yo, he basically sent these niggas to the shadow realm, and they was just not able to come home. Like, yo, word.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
love how
we're
these
gonna.
people always create like super soldiers and then think they can control them. Like, dog, this is why they did what they did to Bucky, because you can't just let these dudes have their own free thought, because they're gonna do this every time.
They had to
What is a
reset him.
god doing listening to you, like little person, like little person, crush you?
So Leo, let me ask. Maybe I missed something in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I said because the way did I miss where they introduced that whatever they clicked? Did I miss that part? I must have missed that
That
part.
they had a like a backup protocol. Yeah, I don't recall them
Like
saying that
yeah,
either, but whatever. They ain't need to explain that because that's a simple concept.
right. No, it is. You're right. Because when I seen it, I said, okay, I get what's going on here. But I was just thinking like, did I? I must have missed where they said they had that. Like
Instead of
maybe
putting
I
them
don't
in
know.
mind control like Bucky was, I guess that's their
Yeah.
alternative. A shutdown button. He thought he was dead, bro. Got
Like, what
consumed
they
by the
do? They
void.
snap his or
Yo,
something like that. Like what the fuck
as
happened?
simple as it is, as corny as people probably will say it is, the void was cool as fuck. The dude himself, like the void
Ah,
version of
my
Superman.
God. I just wanted to see him do more, I guess, but he couldn't do more because they can't do more. So he had to do something simple and something for them to do. I
I
get
feel
it.
like I
I
called
get
it, and
it.
I don't know if I
Get it.
called it on video, but I felt like they were gonna talk no Jew to him because there was no way they were beating him like with hands and weapons. So they
Somebody
had to
said,
talk no
somebody
Jew to him. Yeah, they had to.
somebody on it. They said, so yeah, how did they beat the villain? I said, oh, they hugged him. They
Come on, man. You undersold it, but yeah, essentially,
did.
they consoled my
One, he
man.
was
They
beating the
they
shit out
helped
of
him.
himself.
They helped him feel like he had people to go to
Okay.
instead of being alone. But yes,
Okay,
they hugged
yes.
him.
And I
Yes.
also I also included that. I also included that he was no longer lonely. I did say that, okay. But essentially though, he was beating the shit out of himself. That's what the void wanted because we know like when you it's
You
like a
feel
cold
alone. You
Peter
feel
Parker
empty. Yeah,
feeling.
you're trying to fill it in.
It's like if Peter Parker would have was allowed to kill that Norman Osborn, he would have turned evil. You know what I'm trying to
Hmm.
say? So
Hmm.
we seen the void filling him up, and he's like, and then they came over and said no. They said don't do
It's
this.
okay. You can stop beating your own ass now.
Yeah, like, don't do this. Stop beating yourself up.
Stop doing that to yourself. It's
Stop.
you.
Just stop.
It's just your emotions, man.
We're Avengers. We don't do this.
I mean, at
Like,
this point, we're just the Thunderbolts, but you could be one of us too.
yeah.
But speaking of
Oh
Norman
yeah, yeah.
Osborn,
So,
I caught this. Ox Group. Does that not sound eerily similar to Oscorp? Remember, there is
oh,
no Oscorp in the MCU, stated by Norman Osborn himself when he got brought here. I'm assuming
you
Ox
are.
Group is the equivalent of Oscorp.
This guy is smart. This guy is smart. This guy is smart.
I may be
This guy's
close to an expert.
like this. You keep inching me every episode. You keep. Yo, yeah, no, that honestly, when you said it, yeah, that definitely sounds like. And you know why it sounds like it to me though? I know from a little comic history, that in another universe, Fontaine is Norman Osborn.
Well, work. I know there's one where she works for him, where the
No,
Thunderbolts
no,
are
no, no,
basically
no.
ran
But there's
underneath him.
also there's I know the one I'm referring to. I believe you know what I'm saying. I'm the non-expert, so the
Yeah,
one
me
I'm
too.
the one I'm
Don't
referring
worry, I
to
be lying.
is that I believe she's not even in that universe. He's like he's just in her position, like it's him.
Oh, okay. It's Norman Osborn who runs
Yeah, it's normal. Yeah,
Pride
he
Syndicate.
runs the Thunderbolts. Yeah, basically. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So when you said that, I was like, oh, that very well be. And I think in the universe where they are together, they're enemies. So that could be very well like what you said. I like that. I like that. You're onto something there.
Oh,
We gotta look that
so
up. We gotta
I'm
look.
jumping to the end because I don't feel like this is when we need to talk about the story straight through.
Now
Post
we're
credit scene.
anyway.
Post credit scene. Fantastic Four ship
Oh, they
arriving in our
ruined it.
universe.
So people are
No, but
saying people
like
are
no, but I
saying
said this to somebody because this is another thing I don't think I said on video. But I feel like the Fantastic Four movie is gonna end up with them losing, and they're going to need to find a way to save their universe, and they're going to be like, the only way we can save our universe is by surviving, and they're going to flee their universe.
Yeah, you know what? I think I've heard you say that, and I agree. At this point, yeah, honestly, now that we know that in a Fantastic Four movie, and again, we're speaking before it comes out. We know from this what we know that there's no other heroes in that universe. They are the heroes. They are the only ones that exist. It's going to be interesting. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm jumping. Now that we see that they're in Universe 616, it's going to be interesting to see to find out why they're there. My
Oh yeah,
guess
man.
is as good as
Galactus is gonna munch up down on that planet,
yeah.
and they're gonna lose.
Be able to beat the Galactus.
Mm-mm.
The Silver Surfer, she's gonna like tell them like, listen, we it's over. Y'all gotta do
Y'all
something.
need to recruit more
And
friends. You're not enough.
like, yeah, like it's over. And if y'all don't stop this nigga, he's gonna eat the whole universe. So go and come back. I feel like some shit like that's gonna happen. Like go and come back. This whole coming back thing, I don't think it's gonna happen. But I think they're gonna get stuck in the universe where they go,
Well, I
and that's
also
it.
have this theory, and I'm gonna say it now. I think there is a chance. I won't say high or low. Somewhere, I think it's a lower chance than it is high. But Reed Richards becomes the Maker in the MCU at some point, and maybe be the next big bad after.
Oh, why you say that? I mean, that's pretty cool. But why you say that?
Because if we're starting his story off with failure, where else is his story gonna go? If his story is a
Mm.
failure story, it's the perfect way to like have your own story of why he becomes the Maker. Because a lot of things he's like not he's not the guy. And what is his whole MO is that I'm the smartest man. I figured things out. And if he keeps either getting beaten to the punch or failing, it's gonna drive him dark, and he can become the Maker. And the Maker is like a dangerous bad guy. So not to say they don't have villains to use, but it gives them villains to use instead of just using some big name right
Let me ask you this, and then we're gonna jump back to the Thunderbolts. I mean, well, back to the characters in the Thunderbolts. But let me ask you this: do you think Doom is coming from that universe as well when they make the trip?
away. I would like to say, yeah, I would like to say I'm pretty confident that that's what they're gonna do with it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not necessarily a different that Doom, but necessarily one that's similar to the one that he knows.
Mm, mm.
Something along. He's gonna be familiar with him. I at that point because one is Doom, so like he's got to be familiar with him.
All right, one more pre-Doom question, then seriously, we're gonna jump back to the Thunderbolt questions. Because we're just hypothesizing here. Do you think we're gonna see Robert Downey Jr.'s character in Fantastic Four as a not as Doctor Doom, but as
If
what's his
we
regular
do
name?
very shortly, if we do very maybe cutscene at the end of the movie just to like maybe mention him, maybe see him on like a news screen or something like that. Maybe not a
Mhm.
direct confrontation between Reed and Doom himself. Uh,
I'm thinking direct confrontation, not confrontation, but direct contact.
yeah, that's what I'm
I'm
saying. Like
thinking,
nothing like that. And like if I do see it in the movie, I feel like that's more something they say for like a post credit scene.
hmm.
And that's where how it would happen. If it happens in the
That's what I mean. Like, yeah, that's what I meant. Like him himself. All right. So back to the Thunderbolts, the characters. Now, I thought it was interesting, because we know that the whole movie they keep mentioning the void. Like even in that beginning speech that you mentioned, like Helena, she had mentioned like feeling the void, and then when Bob was speaking to her about like just feeling lonely when they were together, he had mentioned like a void there. But I wanted to ask, did you notice how they played on the shadows so much?
like in the
Like I know
background in other scenes and stuff like that.
in the background in the scenes in the fight in the one she had a good opening fighting scene. Um, when the
I
view was
love
from the
Yelena.
top. I thought
I've loved her since the Black Widow movie. I like that character a lot.
she had a. And I like how they do her fighting. Her fighting is pretty cool. And but the if you notice that in that scene, I don't know if you noticed, every time she dropped somebody, and remember the view was from the top. the shadow from the person was long. It was a long shadow. It was a long every time like and it was
Foreshadowing,
every
probably.
time it was a long shadow, a long shadow, long shadow. And I think it was just they just played on her dealing with this inner battle the whole movie. Like you know what I mean? Like it was something that followed her. It was something that she carried and everything she did and everything, you know what I'm saying, where she was in her life and stuff like that. So I think and then it's crazy even in when she went into the room, remember she was talking herself and then they showed who she was talking to. She was actually talking to a guard. Remember when she got up and went to the computer desk? They showed it was two shadows there. It was two shadows right there in the glass. And it's crazy because I'm thinking like first, like when I first seen it, my first I was like, the fuck? I was thinking like that, these shadows is crazy. But then as the movie went along and I'm like the nigga turning people in the shadows, I'm like, was he turning people in the shadows in that shit?
Yeah, because
Like did he
remember
do
he
that?
does say
Like
that
was
he
they
just blanks out at times.
like so I'm like he probably was they was probably was testing on him, you feel what I'm saying? And left him
Remember
niggas
they
kept
asked
turning
him
the
how'd
shadows.
you get in this vote? He doesn't remember anything. Like
No, made him a god. That's crazy. How do you do that? That's
fucking
wild.
fucking
But you know
fucking
what?
bozos. This
He
dude
was
said he
dealing.
went to South Asia for fucking drugs to go chase a high, bro.
That
Ended
nigga
up
was
in this
dealing. He was dealing
project.
with
Ended up in this
the
project.
whole movie is about them like dealing with like a lot of inner battles
The
and stuff they've
skeletons in their
done. Like the
closet. But that's why I mentioned
and
Bucky
it's funny
earlier, is because he already dealt with his. Like,
yeah, right. And we had that thing with the let's talk about the agent. What's his name? How we say his name?
um,
Um this is
U.S. agent
US agent. One, they made
John
him like
Walker way better in this than
I'm
he
gonna say
was
John
in
Walker.
Captain Falcon.
I'm gonna say two things here because it's crazy because he actually say three things here. The first thing is he actually was my like one of my first off-brand characters when I was younger and I seen comics. Whoever wasn't like the main Avengers and stuff like that, I thought they were off-brand characters, so I never really paid attention to them. But then him himself, he was like my one of my first ones that I had a toy of, and I remember and I remember I had a comic and I got to know who he was. He was one that I actually liked. I liked him for this is the second thing I'm gonna say. I liked him for his brutality. The nigga was like Captain America, but like he didn't give a fuck. Like you know what I'm trying to say. Like and that's they showed that a little bit in
And his
uh
personality. Oh well, when he
right
kills the guy in Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, while
right.
he's
So
snapping
they
because of super serum and all that.
that but like yeah exactly. But in the comic he is brutal. Like he's brutal. Like and of course the comics always get more brutal. So but the third thing I'm gonna say is they show that a lot. They show him battling a lot, like you know what I'm saying with the family. They show his they play on his anger. They play on his you know what I'm saying his not giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Even though he you
He's
know
got
he
like a
turns
zero
out you know
tolerance personality. Like
right,
once you annoy him,
but
he's just annoyed. Like
right, but I'ma say I wanted him to be just a little bit more crazier. And I want him just to be. I want him to be a little bit more. And I know they can't make him like you know what I'm saying like a massacre agent like he is in like you know in the comic. I understand that, but I want him to be just like the one on the team who's a little bit more off.
and
You know
I
what I
feel like
mean?
that's
Like
what they were kind of doing with him though, but just not going so they weren't like
it's
free
leaning
firing with
towards
him.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was definitely the one that's like, I just want to do this. And they're like, but the plan goes better if we do this. And he's like, like I'll listen to you, whatever.
Like
Like
remember when he saved them when they was in the tunnel? He grabbed the baton and he just did what he did. I forgot what he
he's
did
the one who just
exactly, but
wants to go off the rails and just freestyle like whatever's going on.
yeah,
He doesn't
like
necessarily
like
want
uh,
to plan.
I like U.S. Agent. I like U.S. Agent.
He's
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
more
I'm looking
enjoyable
forward
here than he was in Captain Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but obviously that was
to
like the
way
point
more.
is
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. If he was a villain, he'd be a villain that you'd be he relatable.
yeah, and like think about it, you could just see because like they showed that his family like one. I was laughing at that scene because she's like, "You're not even looking at the kid. You're like just in your phone." And I'm like, I'm sorry. I went with my family, my mom and my brothers, and I'm sitting next to my mom, and I looked over at him, and I was like, "Wait." So like, did she expect him to just be in the room like just cold staring at the baby like, the whole time?
Like, all right, baby, what you need?
just
Just looking at like yo. I'm
Door
like,
opens up and she
bitch.
comes in and you're just like, I'm watching the baby. Like you said, you're in your phone. I'm like, wait, he can't like look down and like scroll real quick. Well, like,
Like, man, I got peripheral, bitch. I can see this baby. Like, I can
poor
see the
U.S.
father.
soldier, but like he seemed like he was like a dickhead husband too. So like,
Yeah,
poor
yeah,
U.S.
yeah.
soldier and his wife, and they're on the rocks relationship and shit. But
Yo, who were they trying to they were trying to impeach valid like Miss Day Fontaine from what? Like what was she?
she's like
Like I
in the
couldn't even.
CIA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
she's in
got
the
you.
CIA. I don't know if she's moved higher than that because you know movies love doing that. People progressing through the government like that. So I
Remember,
just
we
remember
thought
that.
she was going. Well, the last in the last one of the last episodes we did about the MCU, we thought. Well, one of us had said she was probably going to be president, maybe. Oh, after we said that in the Red Hulk,
Yeah, I feel like you
but
said that,
it
right?
didn't turn out that way. It did not turn out that way, huh?
Well, she's not in hot water really right now, so who says it can't happen that way?
Yeah, I mean, right now, no. Now that she's formed the new Avengers, she's
Yeah,
definitely
so
in the
she
future.
looks good now. Like that's why I was saying I was so mad that she finesses this shit because now they're like she doesn't look like the person that you should be bothering about an impeachment.
Let's talk about that dialogue. The dialogue that happened between Yelena, U.S. agent, and Bucky at the end, right before we see that Fantastic Four plane when they talk about the new Avengers and Sam Wilson
I
saying,
was
"What the
just
fuck are
wanting to
you
go there
guys
too.
doing?"
I just wanted to go there too. That is
Sam
very
Wilson
interesting.
was man. Listen, y'all know I don't make me go get my shield because I'm down with the black cat. Because you know what I'm saying. So he like, what the fuck are y'all doing? I'm like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Feel me? Like, cause what's going on? You
But
know what I'm
that's the
saying? What side you
thing.
on, Nick? Let me know right now. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the
Let
thing.
me
I'm
know.
not really getting why there would be a clash actually,
Oh yeah, me
because
neither. When I had that same thought. I had that same thought.
one, Bucky was already told that Sam is starting the Avengers. He didn't really go and try to make this Avengers team on his own. He just kind of saved the day, and then Valentina said, "Boom, new Avengers."
Oh, I know why there would be a clash. I know why there
But
would be a
Sam's
clash
making
because
his own Avengers team, and who would be the
well,
leader?
no, I mean, well, well, I don't even think that would be it. It would just be who included. Sam is not going. Sam not fucking with U.S. agent. You know what I'm trying to say? Like he not
And
fucking
this
with
is
U.S.
that is
agent.
the question that I have in my mind, is like, and where it kind of went is he wouldn't fuck with somebody like that. But I also feel like it'd be a little weird because this is gonna be like Civil War too. But he does, don't you trust Bucky? That's what I'm thinking. Is like at the end of the day, like if even if Valentina had this new Avengers group and then Sam had his Avengers group, wouldn't they just work together off the strength of Bucky and Sam being cool and everybody being familiar with everybody pretty much? Like, why would this be an
I
issue?
think
The only thing I
I
can
think
see
Sam.
is that
No, go ahead.
the only thing I can see is that one group is acting independently and one group is acting via the government. And that would be the issue. Like almost like the Civil War, where one was willing to follow the government and the other one was just like, nah, we ain't doing that type of shit. Because
Yeah,
what else would it be? Like there's
I was
no way
gonna.
that they're both working for the government. Because remember, Sam's new Avengers are supposed to operate under the government. So if Valentina's is also operating under the government, what's the issue?
Well, technically they're not though operating under the government because Yelena said we're
We
the new
own,
government.
yeah,
We're the new Avengers.
yes,
And
but
she said
that's because between
government said
them,
so.
that's because between them, she's like, we own you because we're not putting you on blast.
No, no, no. I'm talking about specifically when she said that to Bucky. Remember, she said that to Bucky. She said, "We're the new Avengers because the government said so." Like she said that shit out of her mouth. She said because the government said so. She said that to Bucky during that conversation.
Okay, so
You know what I
like that
mean?
solidifies them as working for the government,
Yeah.
or at
So
least being
I think
or at least being co-signed. So if
he's being
Sam's is
co-signed by the
also
government.
being co-signed, Sam's group is also being co-signed. The only thing I can see is like a clash of styles, where like they're more of a Suicide Squad, and then these guys are more of like an actual Avengers Squad, who try to do
Right.
things the
Yeah,
clean right way, where these guys will bend the rules. Maybe that's
right.
it.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I'm gonna say.
Where do they
Sam
squeeze
is
that in? Where does
Sam is now is going into his role of Captain America. Captain America can't be working with no criminals.
he's a new Captain America? That was the whole point of the last movie. Is he's not like Steve Rogers? Like what? Like come on, man.
Yeah, but then but then you definitely don't want the fucking black Captain America who works with criminals. It's like, god damn
Hey
it,
yo,
like
that Captain America, he working with
I,
criminals. He's probably also out there selling dime bags and shit. Come on, man.
come on. Nah, this my man Jimmy. He a good dude. He a good dude. We
My
put him
man
on the team.
Sam, yeah, man. My man Sam, man. Somebody tried to jack me for my weed the other day, and he stopped them.
I'll be
like,
like, nah, we can't. I feel like there's like Cap, and he's really taking his role. Like, all right, this movie happens after the Red Hulk. One, I'm gonna mention that they showed the building that the Red Hulk crashed into. I forgot what it's called, the big pointy building in America that I don't give a fuck about, but um, and yeah, man, my fault, y'all, fly. But they showed it in the background, and they showed it having construction. So that tells you the Red Hulk already ripped through that shit, right? So this happening after the events of
oh, remember
Captain America.
Valentina mentions it at the beginning of the movie in that trial she was in. We just had this,
Right,
that, and the
right,
third
right.
red superhero almost destroy the city. It's definitely after that.
I feel like everything Cap went through in that movie, including Falcon getting hurt. I think he's really like taking his role a little bit more serious than you know what I mean than before. Because if you look at it, he was more so on he would have been more so on this side of things earlier in Civil War. I believe him and White Captain, not White Captain America, him and Steve. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Him and Steve Rogers.
Mentioning, I'm not a super fan of Captain America in the MCU, but mentioning the GOAT, Steve Rogers.
To go.
John Walker said his line and it pissed me the fuck off. He said on your left. I was like,
Oh, on
what
your
the
left.
hell? I was like, what the hell?
He caught it though, but it was fine though. He caught it though. It was fine. He said on your left, and then he caught it for a boom. I said, oh, that
He like,
nigga.
nah,
Okay,
he
I
like
said that
broke the shit or whatever. Yeah, I was like, on your left. What? You
nigga.
wanna be, you fucking wanna be.
Yeah, I
Um,
heard that too.
to go back to the Clash real quick, I think the Clash is probably gonna go something like this because if you take note in the post credit scene, Yelena is the obvious leader of this group. It's not Bucky. He's more like the OG who's like there to like be the background leader, but ain't really the leader.
Yeah, Bucky's a congressman. He's not trying to be the leader of that.
That's probably where it's gonna fall into because Yelena and Sam probably won't see eye to eye, and Bucky's like, I don't run this group. Like this is not mine to step in and like try to work this out for you, Sam. I can say my little piece, but at the end of the day, y'all gotta get together. Y'all gotta be like,
I like how the U.S. agent shield is bent now, and he didn't fix it.
I keep thinking now, like, why is he keeping this taco? What is this? Now you can just
I
punch with
like
it. Like it's not even a shield. It's like a weapon. You're not punching. You're
that
not
shit.
protecting
That
yourself
shit
with
dope.
that.
Because he's a super soldier, so he can easily bend it back.
Yeah, I'm like, why has he not done this yet? Like,
Hey, I like that. I don't know. I don't know why I
but
like
them
it because
punches
like
is gonna hurt so hard.
yo, when he was throwing Yelena, I was dying, bro. I was dying. He was tossing, and then even she said the first time he threw her, she looked up. She said, "What is happening?"
Yet again, rest in peace, Taskmaster. that scene. Ghost
Yo,
just popped
the
up and
dope,
said, "Boom, I'm done
the
here."
dope was crazy, bro.
She said, "I'm done here. My job's done. I'm out."
Now we know why we didn't see her in most of the previews, and I'm thinking, no, she's gonna come back. But then I had to think,
Oh, but I mean, I think a lot of people assume that already because we noticed she wasn't in a lot of the previews.
yeah,
We
yeah,
knew it was gonna die
I didn't.
early, but we
I don't
didn't
know.
expect that.
I didn't even pay attention to her really, her character until I really went to go see her
Her and
and
Chris
saw her in the movie.
Brown were racing for how fast you could die in a movie.
Yeah, she got the one shot. My girl Ghost, she was doing her thing. Hey, yo, let's talk about the suits at the end. I like Ghost in the suit. That was fire. Her new Avenger suit.
I
That
didn't
was
really pay
fire.
too much
Fly.
attention to the details on this. I'm not gonna lie. So you're gonna have to tell me what it was looking like.
I mean, they were just in they black. It was cool. It
Oh
was like
yeah,
in
yeah.
black and red, like and then Bucky even had like a weird symbol, which was like symbol to
Like the star on his
similar.
arm, but
Yeah,
it
I don't
also
know
was
if it
like
was
the
a star
star
or
in the
not, but
Captain America shield.
yeah,
I
okay,
did
okay,
notice
man,
that.
okay. Yeah, that was cool. And then they finally put the U.S. agent in black. Like that's what I like too. Like they put him in
With
black,
the
like in
beret.
red, in red. Yeah,
He probably
he-
changed his cowl because they was asking him about it on the truck. In the truck, they're like, "Do you like your hat?" You're like, "My helmet." Like, yeah, it looks good, don't it? And they're like, "Yeah, okay, you like
It's
it."
like, nah.
I
He's like,
like
yeah, let me
Yelena's
think.
character so much, man. Like, she's like the perfect version of Black Widow that actually talks to people.
A quick comparison to her and Black Widow I seen online that I'm gonna just mention. That fall she took similar to the fall Natasha took.
After she just talked about Black Widow dying in the way she
It was
died.
crazy because cinematically it even looks the same. I said, damn.
Well, she falls forward and Natasha falls
Yeah, well,
backwards.
yeah, Natasha falls backwards, but I mean, like from like the, how they go from like that far view and they just show like that person dropping,
Hmm.
like with the building in the back, and then the other one had the mountain in the back. It just sort of looks similar. You know what I mean? Like it was just like,
I enjoyed the scene where they're driving away and they think they got away, and then Bucky pulls up and saves the day. As soon as that shit pops up, I'm like, how the fuck did Bucky find them? But then Bucky clears house and they're like, yeah, yeah, and then Bucky shoots one at them.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I forgot he kind of captured them at first. Yeah, I forgot about that
All by
shit.
himself, bro.
Hell yeah, word. They can round them up quick, bro.
And I was like, that's kind of funny because it reminds me of the What Ifs episode with him and Red Guardian.
Yo, yeah, it did. The whole desert scene and everything too, right?
Like they
You right
don't
about
really get
that.
the buddy buddy shit. Like that episode is almost like some weird way of them connecting and having their own Thunderbolts movie just without the rest of the guys. Like
He even calls Bucky cool. Like when he sees him on the motorcycle, he's like, that guy's so cool. Like just like in what if.
he was definitely fanboying in the car. He's like, what kind of super serum soldier you got? He's like, I don't know,
Word,
Hydra. He was
yeah.
like, oh, Hydra. I got some
I thought that
Russian
was a
stuff. It's
cool
just not a
conversation. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was a cool because it made me think. It made me think like, wow, how many Super Soldier series are there in the MCU? Like, it's
He's
crazy.
the
It's like
Thor of the
three.
group. He's the Thor of the group.
Yeah, he is because he's like he got it before everybody, right?
No, I'm saying he's the Thor of the group because like he's just like the
Oh,
guy who
like
just makes
the
stupid
humor.
comments and all that.
Humor.
Yeah, like he just makes stupid comments and shit like that. Like I am strong to mightiest Avenger. Like I can just see it. Like
Actually, there's four Super Soldier Syndromes, five actually, because
Valentina's,
Ale-
America has one, Hydra, and then
America
Russia
has
two.
two.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
They had
five
two. Yeah.
or whatever
I,
Valentina just did. Are we counting Are we counting Adam Warlock and whatever they're doing out there?
oh man, I don't know.
That can be up there, but it's not a serum soldier, super serum
It's
soldier.
not
But
a
they already
serum,
making a
but I
perfect human.
guess
They're making a perfect perfect specimen.
yeah, I guess so. He would, you know what? But he would actually be like, ain't he like the
Even
strongest?
the what's his name from the last Guardians of the Galaxy, the creator. He's also trying to create. Well, no, he's trying to create perfect way of life, not necessarily perfect beings, right?
Yo, tell you the truth, Earth has three. This nigga Nick Fury made a super soldier serum. Remember that? He think he collected everybody's blood. I just remember that shit.
So you
He
got
made his
regular
own shit.
no. So U.S. got their own. Then they have the dark one. Then they have the Nick Fury one. Then they have whatever Valentina's doing.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, they wildin'. They
And
need to
then
slow
there's
down.
Hydra, and then there's Russia.
There's Russia. They need to slow down. And then there's some outer space shit that they doing the High Council and all the other niggas and stuff like that. They see all this creation. They need to lead to the celestial. This is exactly what Adrian was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I said, this is exactly what the fuck
Leave
he's
that
talking
shit to the
about.
big dogs, right?
feel me?
Everybody
Niggas
over here
down here
trying to play
creating shit.
God. Like what?
Like, yeah, he like he ain't like he watching down like I don't like this shit, nigga. What
I,
the fuck
so
going
I
on?
wonder what they used to make Sentry. I don't think they've explained that, right?
To my knowledge, no. They just kept telling him that he went through a series of
And he was stronger than all the
experiments.
other Avengers. Because I know he's supposed to be like their
Yeah,
Superman.
yeah. They made him stronger than I think they used 100 suns. I think it was something like that. I heard him say like you're stronger than 100 suns. Whoa, that's
I
fucking
mean,
strong.
if
I'm
he
just,
can just turn you into a fucking shadow, it's alright. Too
but
much.
tell you the truth, though, that right there is not even Sentry.
That's
That's
the
the
void.
void.
I know, right? Sentry don't do
That's
that.
not even they have no they don't even know where the void came from, bro. Like they had no. So all right. The interesting. I'm gonna connect the comic too. I'm gonna
But
connect the
you
comic too.
said a whole bunch of interconnected shame rooms.
Yeah, it's crazy. The interesting thing about this is like the void is like, okay, we got this Bob character. We know he's like depressed and he's a drug addict and he's been fighting stuff, loneliness, and all
I
that
still
stuff,
can't
right?
get over them giving
So,
super serum soldier to a meth addict. Like that is nuts. I can't get over
so
that.
you would think that the void is a manifestation of all that, right? Especially the way they played it, like, oh, shadow realm. You step into the shadow realm, you see, or your regrets and doubts and stuff. So you think his void is a outside manifestation of what he feels inside. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mhm.
what we thinking. Now, that's what I was thinking when I seen the movie. At least I'm gonna speak for myself. Um, in the comic though,
It's its own
I'm
thing.
just gonna I'm connecting the comic. Yeah, in the comic, Sentry is Sentry. As he gets his powers, the Void is a whole nother entity that's like, oh, look at this nigga. This nigga strong as fuck. I'ma just attach myself to him. And just now he's the Void and Sentry. Like now that's what it is. So it's crazy, like what I'm saying, how like that the way they put it in the movie, it was very good. They played it well because it does look like an inner manifestation of everything he's feeling. But if you know from the comics or a little background, you know that motherfucker ain't got nothing to do with Sentry. Like Sentry, like that nigga, when he comes out, that's him. Like
Nah, that shit looks
you
so
see
cool.
Sentry was in
He
the front, be
barely had
sitting there
any
like,
eyes. It was like just a sliver of gray. I feel like at one point they were like right here and right here, but like I don't even give a fuck because he was turning niggas into shadow. What am I gonna do? Talk shit? Am I gonna talk shit to him? But like, yo, sir, your eyes are like
you need to
turned
fix
into it,
that shit.
and then I get turned into a shadow. Like, come on, bro. I still can't get over how he did that to that little girl. What a fucked up individual, bro. What
All
shame
right,
that little
I got
girl got? What shame that little girl got to live back through? Stealing the cookies out the cookie jar, bro. Like, come on, bro.
Yo, I got some for that, right? The shadows they took over Manhattan, or and then when it came back out, everybody was right where they was at, right? What about the people who disappeared in the helicopters? Did they die in the helicopter crash, or did they just blip back like where they were at
And
in the
die
sky?
anyways.
And then, matter of fact, that even brings me further. Now that I say it, what about the people who died when Thanos snapped his fingers? Where they were? What if you got blipped on a plane? Did you blip back in the middle of the ocean, like drop, like?
Being somebody who questioned it back when the blip happened, I instantly was thinking some shit like that. I was like, some of these people ain't okay after they came back, are they? But see, that's one of those things that the movie just prays that we just don't notice. Like they just be like, please, we did not think about this part, and we just hope y'all don't think about this part, bro. Because like, just come on, man.
Oh, Avengers, you brought us all back. And somebody just come like, no, no, no.
I'm
Some people
back.
died. Some people died. Some people died.
Ah!
A nigga landed on my house. A nigga landed on my house when that shit happened. I was in the living room. The fuck? I could vouch. People died.
There's a
People
hole
died
in
when
my
y'all did
roof right now, man. Like, come on, man. This
that.
ain't
Yo,
even cool, bro. This ain't even cool. He was flying over. He was flying away in a helicopter. Come on, man.
like, yo. So it's like when like it's the same concept for me. Like when he turned them into shadows, like what happened? Like did they just because they were trying to shoot him in the head? Did they come back like GI Joes and just like the fuck?
So I'm gonna question this first. Why do they keep doing this? I don't know when the last time a gun worked for them, but they keep trying.
Right in the Hawk's face. Pop, pop,
I
pop,
don't
pop, pop.
remember the last time a gun was effective in a Marvel universe fight, but yet they keep letting them bullets fly.
Right
So
to this guy with the eyes and it's all black. Pop, pop, pop. Like, why would you shoot at him?
yeah,
Like,
you shot at
why
a
would you think
shadow.
a
Number
fucking
one,
bullet?
like what the
What
fuck?
kind of bullet is gonna take him down?
So I think we're gonna roll into this part where I normally do this thing. The actors do a good job. I don't even remember I don't remember the guy's name who is Sentry, but I enjoyed the moments where he's interacting with his void because he is like literally two different people interacting, even in the way that they fought each other was just two totally different people. He starts off that fight and he's just like the guy who's never fought, throwing weak punches, and the void is just wailing these things at him. So like even stuff like that, that's like actor actmanship, I guess, whatever we want to say. That's quality of work that I enjoy seeing in actors. Like Michael B. Jordan doing the twins and stuff like that, just seeing differences in one actor and stuff. Yelena
Yeah, give
always solid.
it up.
David
I don't
Harbour
know
always
his name.
good. Um,
I don't know the actor's name, but yeah, give it up to him because he definitely played the shit out of Sentry Bob and the Void.
this is the coolest Bucky has been since an Avengers movie, maybe since Civil War. I mean, the Winter Soldier.
You said the coolest? Um, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Bucky was like, okay, cool, I'll go be a badass for a little bit.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah, this was definitely the coolest. Yeah, yeah, you right about that. Yeah.
Bro got clapped with his own arm, bro.
Yo, that was crazy.
I
And
wonder
then
how
took
that
it
feels
back.
for him. I wonder. Nah, Ghost picked that shit up. She said, "Oh my god, we gotta get out." Remember they all got up and they got in the elevator.
Oh, okay, take it out.
I was like, it's so funny that this is what their idea was. They scurried away into the elevator. They grabbed Bucky
They
and
was
said,
out, yo. They was going. They so hell no, bitch.
I'm like, yo, why they think he can't stop this? Like, what the heck? If he wants to, he's not gonna let y'all get away. Like, come on, man.
Bucky was not trying to go into that shadow. He like, yo, what if she said, what if she's alive? He said, what if she's dead? Okay, what if she's dead in there? That you're not thinking about the other side of this shit, bitch.
I
Like,
mean, he right though. He right. I'm not mad at him for thinking that way, man. How we gonna save the world if we dead? Just like I said about Richards, how we gonna save the world if we dead?
yeah, he was like, yo, listen, he was 100% right, but listen, I would have been a little skeptical too.
All right.
I'm,
Trying to think anything else, man. Are we getting into our ratings? Story was okay.
let me see. Let me look at my little. Yeah, we kind of talked about everything I had. Tell you the truth. Yep, yep. I'm gonna go ahead and give it my rating. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. Tell y'all the truth.
Almost.
I went to see this movie. It was 10 o'clock last night. You have to have a whole day. You know me. Well, for those who don't know, Cinco know. I like to sleep at night. I don't really stay up too late. So 10 o'clock was kind of late. So I went to go see it. And so I was in and out of sleep when I was watching the movie, right? So I caught a lot of the important parts and I thought I kept saying to myself like, "Dad, this movie is not keeping me." I kept blaming, not lying to myself, not blaming it on the sleep. But I said it's not keeping me, right? So I gave it a 6 out of 10 when I leave in the theater. I said I'm leaving. I'll leave this movie. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I seen the fights. I seen everything I thought I needed to see. Boom, right? I went home. I did my non-expert homework because now I can see the spoilers and stuff. I could look at stuff. You know what I mean? So I looked at a few things that I did miss in this movie. And now let's go back to your whole is it the replay value? I would definitely go see this before I go see Deadpool. I can say right now that I told Wing, which is a mutual friend of ours, if he goes sees it this week, to tell me because I'm gonna go see it with him because I want to see it. You know what I'm saying? While I'm up, up, up. I now give this movie, after finding out some things in the movies and seeing like some scenes, because I went online, so I watched some scenes over and stuff like that. I give it a 7.5. And with a 7.5. I think again the story was fucking solid. The action for me, what it lacked was just action, honestly. But like you mentioned, it wasn't a movie for action. It was a movie for the story, the transition to see where we're going. It's a little
It was a
surprise at the
coming
end.
together movie for that group of people.
Right. Right. Yeah. So it
Bunch of
wasn't. It
misfits.
wasn't about the action. But just me being me and liking my MCU movies, full of action and kick ass. You know what I'm saying? Here all over the place. That's the only thing it lacked for me. I thought I think the characters they act very well, did they fucking thing. Only character that I don't like, and I may be biased at this time, is the Red Guardian. You know what I mean? I just
How do
found him
you
like he
not
just
like Dmitri?
oh my god, like he he's
How
50
you
50
don't
for me.
like
50
David Harbour? How you
50
don't like
50
that
50.
guy?
You know why? But he always he says too much sometimes. Too much. But everybody else, the whole movie from Dave
You don't like
Fontaine,
embarrassing Russian father
everybody, the whole story from them going to the Shadow Realms, battling their shit. I love the US agent. 7.5 out of 10. That's what I'm giving it. Go.
figure. Okay,
Go.
so we're gonna talk about the Red Guardian real quick. I really enjoy the Red Guardian, man. Like I have not a hate bone in my body for the Red Guardian. Is he an awesome character? No, but he's just enjoyable for me. I like how he is like this absent father, but when he's there, he's like locked in 100%. Like
Very attentive. He's a very attentive father. I give him
yo,
that.
like his moments with Yelena always please me, bro. They always
Very
please
attentive.
me. Yeah, with his kids, he's always like, okay, cool. I ain't always around, but I'm here. Give me a hug. Yeah, I want to love all on you type guy. So and he's genuine also. So I like that about him. And he really tries to uplift his daughters to be and I and that's one of the things I enjoy about Yelena is that she's very much her sister, but she also wants more for life from life. Like
Mm.
Natasha was very much okay with the I'm a soldier. Like I do want she like you could obviously tell she had like the thoughts about more for her life, but she was also okay with just not having that, just being a soldier, and if it comes, it comes. Yelena's like, I want to take that. I want more than just being a Black Widow, a soldier, a killer, like that. So I enjoy those
Right.
character dynamics from this. Um, to go to the story, it is very much. If I had to say like the scale, like really good, really bad, somewhere in the middle, I put really good
Okay.
on this side. So it'd be more like somewhere around here, just hovering over the middle, but more leaning toward the really good side. So
Right. Right.
not nothing to go crazy about. And like you said, it's not filled with action, and I don't think more action would have made this movie any better. Honestly, probably would have made it a little more enjoyable for the eyes, but it's not like it brings the stock of this movie up to have another action scene. The direction it puts us in with the finesse and all that is cool and stuff. And this is one where the villain didn't really kill it for me, but I just think I might have to change how I word it because the threat level was good enough.
The threat level was out of this world.
I
It
don't
was
even know
crazy.
why it's happening. I didn't even need an explanation. I just know this guy is like his void is taking over and he just poofing people, and I'm like, that's a good enough
Yeah.
threat for me.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna let you go right back to your read. I'm sorry. It was crazy about that. You right, because he literally had like something just with this small group of people, and
Just
that nigga
poofing
just came
everybody.
out and said, "Fuck it." That nigga said, "Fuck it." Everybody's
I'm
done.
sitting here making jokes about Marvel Rivals and shit. I'm like, I need that motherfucker in the game right now with that ability as his ultimate. Yo, he just
I'm
yeah. So I thought the threat level was good. So I think I might have to change how I assess things and not necessarily just the villain, but where the threat level is what
Mm.
determines a movie for me nowadays. And this would had a good enough threat level.
I
So
like that
that
word.
that definitely worked in this scenario because like Bob wasn't a bad guy. That's one thing I need. I need to go back and watch, and I need a Bob counter for how as many times as they said Bob in this movie.
Oh no, hey yo,
I need to
oh
know how many
the
times
one.
they said Bob.
Oh, he was saying his. Let me. This is something I got from the internet. He was saying his name in the beginning. That one moment where the U.S. agent got mad at him for
He
saying his
says it the
name.
rest of the movie.
After that,
He says it every time.
he's
Anytime he's talking to him, he says his name. And that's what I'm saying. I need a tracker for how many times they say Bob throughout this movie. Because just the first like 30 minutes, they say that shit like 50 times. But
I heard that shit so many times. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Bob, yeah. Um, I enjoyed. I think she's from Seinfeld. I forget her name, but Valentina de Fontaine. Enjoy her
Mm,
character. But what struck me today is that she's very much political Agatha Harkness. If you go back
mm,
and pay attention to her character, I'm like, this is just Agatha amongst the suits. That's all this is. She's very
like
finesseful, very much
yeah,
about herself.
that's true. That's very true.
Yeah,
That's
she's
very
very
true.
much the same character, just not played by the same person in a different setting. She's just not a witch. This is where she finds her power and stuff like that. Oh, the line she dropped where she was like, what the righteousness without power is just an opinion. How that
Mm.
you're right. How that hurt. You can be as righteous as you want to. Boy, no power. It's just an opinion.
Damn,
He was
that's a
preaching.
killer right there.
Yeah.
That is a hard.
But like at the end of the day, it was just a good story. It's a good like you're here to follow the coming together of the Thunderbolts. That's what you're here for. That's what this movie is about. So if you enjoy it, you enjoy that aspect of it. I also give it a 7.5. I thought about, but it's pretty high on my Marvel list. I'm not gonna lie. It's in the top 15.
It is a better movie than a lot of MCU movies.
I put it right behind the original Guardians of the Galaxy. So it's like number 13 on my list
I have to do the same thing. I can't tell you where it will fall, but I can say it would definitely. I think it will believe it will fall in the top 20.
these
Definitely in
characters
the
just
top
did
20.
these characters just did a good job existing around each other. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
The actors just did
Yeah.
their roles. They just all worked.
My favorite being again Ghost. I think she did. I think it was just so cool, like to see her in control of all that shit that she, that phasing and all that shit, and how she was using that. She
He said, I
if
can
she
only
was
do
there
it
for
for a
the
minute. I can't go through these walls.
yeah, like yeah. But like yeah, it was that one time actually where she couldn't actually go through the wall and shit like that. That shit fucked
Well,
her
because of
up.
the sound barrier thing.
Yeah. But like,
Oh, Mo froze.
I froze. I frozen you. I'm
Yeah,
frozen.
you're. Well, now you're not frozen.
Oh shoot, yeah. Listen, it's telling us to wrap it up. Now let me stop. Now I was saying that her ability, she's able to kick ass crazy, bro. I like the way she's be kicking ass, basically. But yeah, what's your rating though? Oh yeah, seven
Seven
point
and a
five. Sorry,
half. Seven
see.
and a half. Just like yours, sir.
Okay.
I
All
enjoyed what I
right, all
went to
right.
go see. Like, the first half was good. The second half, the climactic part of the movie, like the getting high and then bringing you back down part, that was like very fast and at the end. I felt like that was like 15, 20 minutes of the movie. That's the only thing I would say. But everything else I felt like was paced really well. I wish maybe the movie was like maybe 5 minutes longer so they could.
I would have liked to see that a scene where um they include Sam, at least giving like talking to Bucky about like what the like what's going on. I would have liked to see that conversation.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna
But
get
that
that somewhere, bro. Like they're gonna be like, hey, well, you got a group of Avengers, I got a group of Avengers. I don't know how that's gonna work, but like, well, I'm cool with you. You're cool with me. And like I said, he's gonna find out Yelena is like actually the leader of that group. So like, I don't run shit over there, bro. Like, I'm just like a
yeah.
confidant. I'm just a guy who knows how to run it. So if she ever has questions, she can come to me. Like that kind of guy.
Well, the new Avengers and Bob will return. So
Yo, I was so kind of upset that they snuck that in. Like, he's just call him an Avenger, bro. Just call him one of them. Like, shit. Like,
You know what? I think they're
they
just
tried to sneak
playing
a
with the.
joke in there. That's all. They tried to sneak a
Or
joke in.
not also that they're not also that, but I think they're really playing with the idea that the nigga is more powerful than all of them. So it's like he's not an Avenger. He's above them. Like I feel like they're really going with that, but they can't have a all like an all might character in this MCU. You know what I'm saying? As we see, they tucked them away.
And then they come out. Where did Sentry Suit go? Why is he now in sweatpants like he wasn't from the void? Like,
That is true.
I was so confused. I was like, no Sentry Suit? No cool suit no more? Like, where'd that go? So I caught that. If nobody else did, Marvel, you ain't slick. Where's the suit? Because then you're gonna have him pop back up with the suit one day, and it's gonna be like, where? Where did it come from? Did he have?
Here's
Did it
here's
get nicely folded and put in his pocket when he got put in the sweats? Like,
Here's how they tucked them away. I feel like this is my opinion. Here's how they tucked them away. They tucked them away, like I said, because they gotta tuck away all they big superpowers, just like Shorty from Nick Fury. What's that secret? What it was called?
Secret Wars, Secret
Secret Wars.
Invasion,
You know,
Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion. So it's just like from Secret Invasion, like they just gotta tuck her away. Now she's up with Nick Fury. We don't know where she at no more. Just like Adam. Adam is fucking all powerful, but now he's like just with the Guardians of the Galaxy, just doing stuff. You know what I mean? So they find ways to tuck them away. Sentry, they tucking him away by him saying
He doesn't
when he was
remember.
in the no. It's at the end when he's when they're in the tower and they're like one of them say like you get off your ass like you got you could do something. He's like yo, I can't be Sentry without the void. You feel what I'm trying to say coming? Because every time he's Sentry, that's when the void, could take over and shit like that. So that's their way of tucking him away, of just keeping him as Bob
That
and
the
not
void is
being
always
all
a
right.
threat. And
Yeah,
also,
you
if
feel what
you
I'm trying
think
to
about
say?
it, when he first came back, he didn't even remember what happened.
And if the void is around a century, nigga, Doom is done. Shadow. Done.
Doom would just be
Oh,
like, "You peon, I'm Doom." Like, if that happened and he tried that and he just like, "You fucking idiot, I'm Doom," that would never work
that
on
would
me.
be crazy. Doom would be the type to just be standing there like and fucking turn him into a shadow or some shit, right?
Get a load of this guy. He said because he's all powerful like a god and shit that he could just beat Doom.
So yeah, I feel like that was their way. Like we got to keep Bob because he can't be Sentry because if he's all powerful, then we have the Void who they can't beat. Basically, they're trying to say like they can't beat the
And
Void.
then when they think they got it, Captain Marvel just comes out of nowhere, punches somebody in the fucking face.
You feel me?
And then you got all these guys here with Thor just in the background, like, "Hey, I'm the mightiest Avenger."
And I want to see where that story is gonna go. I'm looking forward to seeing Thor, but I'm also looking forward to them closing out his movie chapter. Like I'm not tired of Thor, but
But it is
you
time.
know,
It is time,
that time. It's about that time.
especially when
Fuck
you
it.
gave us a dry story like what you just gave us. That could have been way
Yeah,
better, but whatever, movie shit.
yeah.
But yeah, that's Thunderbolts, man. Thunderbolts,
Check us
7.5.
out. You know what I'm saying?
Drop your
Episode
opinions,
24.
drop your thoughts, drop your theories, because I want to hear them if you got them. Like, let's share their ideas. Maybe we
Yeah,
write
and
the
if you
book.
saw the movie,
Maybe we
let
give
us know
them
what you
such a
think.
good idea one day we get hired to write the movie. You'll never know if we never get the idea.
Check us out, NEO the podcast at NEO the podcast on IG, on YouTube. Follow us, subscribe. We love interacting with y'all. I am Blak. That's Cinco. Peace.
Thunderbolts.